when it comes to miniature painting, I feel like there are those models that are just, they just speak to you in a way that is like, I have to paint this. I have to have this in my set. Even if it's a game you don't play, you just want to paint it. And honestly, one of the models that got me into Infinity in the first place was this one. And I wanted to paint it. So I started painting it this week. And then Mazebreaker showed up. And Mazebreaker is the newest installment of Infinity models. And there was a model that came in this set that made me put down my Werewolf Warrior and start painting it instead. And that model is Ruby Monday. Okay. And when you buy the Mazebreaker set, it's one of those exclusive pre-order models that it comes with. And honestly, it reminded me of the cheerleader model that Miniac painted not too long ago and sent to people to paint. And ever since I saw how he painted that, I just thought to myself, man, I'd like to get my hands on something like that where I can break out of my normal palette of colors and try something different, because I feel like so often when we are painting models, we're painting models for war, models for, the jungle, for the forest, for a winterscape or an alien planet, and all of those things have stuff in common. And generally the things that are in common are dark, grim dark color schemes, and all the units look the same. There's individuality to the units, right? I mean, you strive for that. Only certain games don't do that. Warhammer. And I just wanted to do something that was out of the norm, something that was a little bit different. And so when this model popped up, it was perfect because it was a mercenary unit, a unit that you can add to various different factions, and it doesn't have to meet the same dress code, the same grim darkness that everything else generally meets. And so it was nice to be able to be like, oh, I can put away my dark, sad, dystopian future color schemes, and I can pull out some wacky, fun, bright colors, because I mean, it's Infinity. It's a cyberpunk basically future with fighters from all over, from deep space to flipping Greek mythology. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Achilles, he's in there. He's awesome. And there's a lot of other things, but I just thought it was so nice to be able to paint something a little bit different. And while I show off some of the footage of me painting Ruby Monday, I got to talk a little bit about Infinity, just because it's one of those games that I feel like not enough people know about, and it's amazing. Okay, so this is the latest box. This is Mazebreaker. Okay, and it comes with, it's a 2-player starter box, right? So it comes with 7 units of each of the 2 factions. Okay, and I'm not going to get into a bunch of the lore. There are people out there that do a lot better job on that than I'm going to do, but I am going to talk about a little bit about what I love about this game. Infinity is one of those games where they don't want you sitting around and waiting and waiting and waiting. Okay, there is awesome systems in play that make it so even when it's not your turn, your units are retaliating, your units are firing on somebody who walks in front of them, who makes that mistake. It's the closest thing on a tabletop game that I can think of to real life combat, just because there is so much that's going on all the time. Another thing that's a little out of the ordinary is that they use D20s for everything they do. And the box comes with 3 D20s for each faction. So, I mean, literally, what I love about Corvus Belli and these 2-player Infinity starter boxes is that it literally has everything that you need to play right out the door. And I mean, it has the dice, it has scattered terrain, it has a play mat to play on, it has the figures, and we'll talk about the figures in a sec, because like them or hate them, they're metal. Okay, and on top of all of that, it has a book, and the book is just really, really cool. because I mean, granted, it's not a huge book, but it's pretty good size. And one of the things that I love the most is that it has backgrounds of the factions. It gives you a little bit of the story, not enough to, make you do like a bunch of lore videos or anything like that, but it gives you enough. And it also gives you variable color schemes for the armies that you're painting and the reasons for them and why they have them. And honestly, if you're just getting into a game and you don't know how to paint an army, but you don't want to do what's on the box, because let's face it, you got to be different. We all do, right? It's got some variations that you can just pick from that are super nice. And then it has scenarios and walkthroughs on how to do them. It's just a really nice box set to start out with. And the price range, they're always right in line with other games. And I mean, a lot of the games that are out there don't even do a full 2-player box set. And granted, you might not want the 2-player box set because you only want the Nomads or the Aleph or, whatever faction it is that you're looking into. But it's always nice to be able to buy a box, split the cost with somebody who might want the other faction, and hey, you split it with them, you can play with them, right? It's like code or something. So anyway, it's just an awesome set to start out with. And going back to what I said at the beginning of the video, the models are so unique and so different that it's just fun. And you don't have to stick to those color schemes because it's like a cyberpunk futuristic world that you can paint them whatever you want them to be. And I mean, Ruby Monday has rave equipment on, right? She's going to a rave after she kills the people. And it's cool because it doesn't look out of place and it's just part of that fun, quick action world. And so can't say enough good things about Infinity. I will throw this in there because I feel like you have to. The learning curve is steeper than other games, but it's steeper because it reminds me of like when you were a kid and you were trying to make a game with your brothers and you planned for like 3 hours all the stuff that the game would have, and then you never played the game because it had way too much stuff. That's what Infinity is. But it works and you can play it, but it just has so much stuff that it can be intimidating. But you don't have to play all of that in the beginning or ever. You can play it to whatever degree you want to. And like I said, after playing a couple of games, you get it. It makes sense. The book will walk you through it. It's fun. It is quick. It's just a good tabletop game that I really hope more people get into. Especially because Infinity or Corvus Belli made Warcrow, and Warcrow is amazing too. And like why not support 2 amazing games, right? So anyway, definitely need to look at it. The models, yes, they're made of metal, but they are some of the most beautiful metal cast models that I have ever seen. But metal is a little harder to deal with. It's always going to require a little more work. And so if that's not your jam, try out Warcrow, because those models they're plastic and they're amazing and you should give them a shot. Okay, and in the end, this is how Ruby Monday turned out for me. And like I said, I've been painting a lot of big stuff lately, or multiple units at a time, or other things, and I have really tried to slow down and paint better and do like a good job, because honestly, I want to post stuff on Instagram and I want it to look good. Like we all want it to look good, right? We want that. And so I am trying to just get to that point where the quality matches how I feel about the game. And Infinity just has a lot of models that are right there that I want to promote, that I want to show off, because I think, man, these are cool models and it's a pretty cool game. So I'm going to be painting more. I got to finish my werewolf, right? And his Little Red Riding Hood lady. So if that interests you at all, please stick around, like, subscribe, hit that little bell, and you'll be notified of when videos come out. And I will just keep making content for the games and the models that I love, and hopefully you love some of them too. I always want to hear your comments below, and I would love to hear what your model is. That model that you just had to paint, even if you didn't play the game, but you saw it and were like, yeah, that's the one I want to paint. That's the one I want to get on my shelf. And how did it turn out when you painted it? Did you do as good as you'd hoped? Could you have done better? I mean, we got right. We can always do better. But in the end, did you get what you wanted from it? That's what I really want to know, because I feel really good about this one. And I hope you like it. So thank you for watching this video today and sticking around to this point. And as always, don't spend so much time building your world that you forget to spend some time in it. Till next time.